In this problem, we are trying to graph a linear equation. And a linear equation usually has y and an x to the first power, no exponents, and then it might have some other numbers. In this case, we've just got y equals x. That's a linear equation, and we call it linear because it makes a line when you graph it. When you're asked to graph a line or graph a linear equation, one good way to do this is to make a chart. Pick some values for x and then figure out what y is going to be. So we'll plug in values for x and figure out what y is. Then we'll graph a few points. 2 would be the smallest number you'd need. 3 is probably a good idea just to double check you haven't made a mistake. And once you've got the points, you can draw the line. So in this case, if I choose some values to plug in for x, and I can choose anything I want. I'm going to choose 1, I think, because that's simple. Our equation is y equals x. So if x is 1, y equals 1. So there's 1. Same thing for 2. If x is 2, then y equals 2. If x is 4, y equals 4. So we've got 3 points. Let's go ahead and plot those. So 1, 1 would be right here. 2, 2 would be right here. And 4, 4 would be right here. And you can see they're all making this line. So now we can just go ahead and draw that line. And it's going to extend all the way across the graph. And usually we put an arrow on the ends to show that the line continues on, because no matter what x equals way over here, it's going to equal the same for the y. So this line is going to keep going on and on. So those are the basic steps for graphing a line. We made a chart, we graphed a few points, and then we connected the points by drawing the line in. Let's try one more like this. This time we have y equals 1/2 times x. So we've got this number multiplied by the x. What that does to the graph of our line is change the slant or the slope of it. So if there's a number out here, it's either going to make the slope steeper or shallower. But we can apply the same method to graph it. We can pick some points. I'm going to be careful about the points I pick because I have to multiply by 1/2, which is the same as dividing by 2. So I'm going to start by picking the point 2. Because when I pick 2 for x, if I multiply that by 1/2, which is the same as dividing by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now I'm going to pick 4. If I'd picked 3 there, I'd have 3 times 1/2 or 3 halves. That's harder to graph. I'm going to stick with numbers that give me even whole numbers out here. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. Let's do one more. I'll pick 6. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the points 2, 1, 4, 2, and 6, 3 are all going to be on this graph. So let's find that. 2, 1 is 2 on the x, 1 on the y. So right there. And 4, 2 would be 4 on the x, 2 on the y. So right there. And 6, 3 would be right there. And you can see already this is a line that's got a slightly shallower slope than our last one. So let's see if we can connect the dots here. All right, and there is our line. We'll put the little arrows on the end. So that is how to graph a linear equation.